Napoleon Hill once said, "Every man who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat." In other words, if you truly want to win, you must give up the habit of looking back. And that habit is built first at the beginning of the day, in the morning. So today, let's understand how, by using Napoleon Hill's thinking, you can start every morning in a way that takes you from average to extraordinary. Chapter 1. The Mind's Alarm Clock. Mental Programming. What do most people do the moment they wake up in the morning? They check their phone, notifications, messages, or get lost in the endless scroll of social media. But if you think about it deeply, you will realize that this is not just waking up. It is pushing your mind into a reactive mode, as if someone else is deciding the direction of your day. And this is exactly what always concerned Napoleon Hill. He said, "There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose. Success does not come through miracles. Success comes only when a person has a clear purpose within, an awakened goal." Napoleon Hill believed that the human mind is no less than a machine. But if you leave it on auto mode, it will run in the same direction the crowd is going. And if you program your mind every morning with purpose, then slowly it begins to shape your personality, your choices, and even your destiny. That is the real difference between an average day and a legendary day. Imagine two people. Both wake up at 6 in the morning. The first person reaches for the phone the moment his eyes open. He reads notifications. His mind immediately moves into comparison mode. Someone got a promotion, someone posted vacation pictures. From the very first minute, his subconscious mind enters reaction mode. After that, even if he goes to the gym or meditates, his mind is already filled with noise. Now the second person wakes up at the same time, but he asks himself one small question: what do I want to become today? Then he opens his diary and writes down his 3 goals. No matter how small those goals are, his brain now enters creation mode. And from that moment, the direction of these 2 lives becomes different. Napoleon Hill used to say that the first hour of the morning is a programming window for your subconscious mind. During this time, your brain is at its calmest, most absorbent, and most influenceable state. Neuroscience says the same thing. Right after waking up, alpha and theta waves are more active in the brain, the very waves that are perfect for imagination, focus, and belief formation. That means whatever you tell yourself during this time will drive your actions, emotions, and decisions for the rest of the day. According to Hill, if you begin the day with purpose, you send a clear command to your entire nervous system: I am in control. And when the mind receives this signal, it begins to see every incoming challenge not as a problem, but as an opportunity. This is the mental reprogramming Napoleon Hill, referred to in Think and Grow Rich as autosuggestion, giving your own mind positive instructions over and over until they become part of the subconscious. Now let's come to the habit that Napoleon Hill taught many of his students: morning affirmations. Hill believed that until you install positive beliefs into your subconscious mind, no strategy in the world can give you lasting success. Because the subconscious mind is the hidden engine that turns your thoughts into action. If that engine runs on fear, doubt, or guilt, then no matter how much you want to, you will not be able to take bold steps. So after opening your eyes each morning, pause for a few seconds. Listen to yourself in silence. Then slowly say, "Today I will move one step closer to my dream. I am calm, strong, and focused. I believe in myself because my intention is clear." At first, this may feel mechanical. Your mind may say, "Will this really change anything?" But when you repeat it regularly, the neural pathways in your brain begin to change. Research shows that repeated positive affirmations reduce activity in the amygdala, which controls fear, and increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making. What is the result? Slowly, your mind becomes a calm, steady, and purpose-driven machine. Napoleon Hill said, "You are the master of your fate because you are the master of your thoughts." And this power only comes when every morning you remind your mind of its mission. There is something very important here. Affirmation is not just about saying words. You have to feel those words. When you say, "I am calm," imagine a light spreading inside, you and all negativity slowly leaving. When you say, "I am focused," visualize your goal for the day standing clearly in front of you, as if a spotlight is shining directly on it. This combination of visualization and affirmation is one of the most powerful triggers for the subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill himself did not just write down his goals every morning. He read them out loud because he wanted the mind, the body, and the voice to come into one alignment. He believed that when you give your thoughts a voice, those thoughts become vibrations that spread into your environment. And slowly, situations of the same vibration begin to attract themselves to you. That is why he said, "The law of attraction begins with the law of concentration." Now here is a practical tip. Instead of looking at your phone in the morning, look in the mirror. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best friend. Look at your reflection and say, "I know I'm not perfect, but I am improving. Today, I want to become the person I myself can be proud of." This small act awakens self-connection within you. We stay so busy all day, with social media, calls, chats, that we forget to connect with ourselves. But the truth is, until you are honest with yourself, no morning routine will last. Napoleon Hill said the greatest secret of success is self-suggestion with faith. Faith means belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your vision. Belief in your process. When you tell yourself every morning, "I am capable," you are not just saying words. You are training your nervous system so that when it sees a challenge, it responds not with fear, but with resilience. Now, let's look at this entire process through the lens of modern science. When you speak affirmations in the morning, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals elevate both your mood and motivation. At the same time, the reticular activating system, or EOS, becomes activated. This is your mind's filter. It decides what gets your attention and what gets ignored. So if in the morning you say, "I am attracting opportunities for my goals," then your brain will automatically start looking for those opportunities all day long. This is called mind priming, preparing your mind in advance for the direction you want to move toward. Now think about what happens if you practice this mind priming every single day. Your awareness begins to sharpen. You start seeing patterns even in random things. Where you once saw negativity, now you see possibility. Where you once delayed, now you decide. And this is Napoleon Hill's mind alarm clock, an alarm that awakens not the body, but the soul. Waking up in the morning is not just a biological act. It is a spiritual declaration. Every morning, you decide what vibration you will run your life on. If you begin with reaction, then all day you will dance to other people's rhythm. But if you begin with purpose, then all day the world will move to your rhythm. Napoleon Hill's message is crystal clear. Your morning mindset decides your lifetime success. So make your morning sacred. Do not make it mechanical. Make it a time when you remind your mind who you are and where you are going. In that 1 hour, no phone, no news, no gossip. Just you, your purpose, and the voice of your soul. Because when you can do that, you do not just win the day, you win yourself. And the person who can win himself cannot be stopped by any force in the world. Chapter 2. The body's energy switch, physical alignment. Napoleon Hill said very clearly, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the body can achieve." But behind this great statement lies a deep truth. The mind and the body are not two separate things. They are two sides of the same existence. Your body is the ground on which your mind stands. If the body is tired, neglected, or out of balance, the mind begins to lose its clarity. And if the mind is restless, the body slowly loses its energy. Napoleon Hill said, "Success does not come through mental strength alone. Success comes when your energy, discipline, and focus are all aligned. In other words, when your body and mind begin moving in the same direction. Because the body is what turns into reality what the mind imagines. The mind inspires. The body turns it into action. If your body has no energy, then no matter how positive your mind is, it will not be able to sustain it. Your goals, your dreams, will remain only concepts. That is why Napoleon Hill always called physical energy the foundation of mental clarity. He wrote, "Clean, healthy, and energetic body is the greatest support of creative mind. And the beginning of the day is the perfect time to activate your body so it can become the support system of your vision throughout the day." Point 1. The oxygen charger of clarity. A 10-minute walk in the fresh morning. Air is not just a habit. It is a spiritual cleansing. When you step outside in the first light of the sun, you are not just breathing air. You are filling yourself with life. Napoleon Hill said, "Nature is the best healer. She recharges human systems silently." And it truly does. Morning air contains the highest quality of freshness. When you breathe deeply, oxygen flow increases in your blood cells. As a result, your brain gains clarity. Suddenly, the mind feels peaceful. Your thoughts begin to organize themselves. Science says the same. During deep breathing, the parasympathetic nervous system becomes activated. It lowers stress hormone cortisol and increases serotonin, the chemical that lifts both mood and focus. Studies have shown that people who combine morning light exposure with a short walk often experience a better mood throughout the day and improved concentration. This tiny act, a 10-minute morning walk, is actually one of the greatest investments of your day because it does not just awaken the body, it resets the mind. Think about it. If you look at your phone right after waking up, your mind gets filled with outside information from the very first minute. But if you step outside instead, your mind fills with silence. And from that silence, creativity is born. Napoleon Hill believed that successful people are not the ones who think more. They are the ones who think clearly. And clear thinking comes when oxygen, movement, and sunlight work together in harmony. Morning sunlight balances your circadian rhythm, your internal biological clock that determines when you wake up, sleep, and focus. This clock depends heavily on light. If you do not get morning sunlight, your body clock becomes confused. Melatonin secretion gets disturbed. And gradually, problems like fatigue, low mood, and anxiety begin to increase. That is why Hill said, "Go out and meet the morning. She brings messages no book can teach. Just 10 minutes of walking, a few deep breaths, and a little sunlight. These three things together reboot your mind. And from there begins the clarity that makes your decisions more powerful, your communication clearer, and your confidence stronger from within." Point 2. The water wake-up call. Napoleon Hill said, "Clean body supports clean mind." But he was not speaking only of outer cleanliness. He was speaking of internal purity. Every night while we sleep, the body goes through a detox process. The liver, kidneys, and skin all work together to remove waste from inside the body. In the morning, after waking up, the body needs only one thing to complete this process: water. But unfortunately, what do most people do? They drink tea or coffee. In other words, instead of giving the body water, they give it acidity. Napoleon Hill believed that if you begin the day with warm water, you send your body a clear signal. Wake up. Detox begin. Warm water activates the digestive system, speeds up metabolism, and helps the body flush out toxins collected overnight. Science agrees. Drinking water on an empty stomach in the morning supports the lymphatic system. As a result, both immunity and energy balance improve. If you want, you can add a little lemon or honey to warm water. Lemon helps balance pH, provides vitamin C, and stimulates the liver. Honey gives instant natural glucose, which supplies the brain with energy without the side effects of caffeine. Napoleon Hill once said in a lecture, "If you wish to keep your mind pure, keep your body light." If you want to keep your thoughts elevated, then keep your body light, clean, and hydrated. Because if the body feels sluggish, the mind also feels dull. Thoughts become heavy. Decisions become slow. Hydration is not only fuel for the body, it is also fuel for mental clarity. Even a small level of dehydration can reduce cognitive performance. So if you wake up dehydrated, your mind will automatically feel lazy. You may think, "I have no motivation." But the truth is not that your motivation is low, your water is low. That is why the first drink of the morning should not be a fancy smoothie or coffee. It should simply be a glass of warm water. And if you drink it with awareness, it becomes a mindful ritual. With every sip, imagine that you are releasing all fatigue, all negativity, and all toxins from within yourself. Napoleon Hill believed that the real secret of success is not hidden inside any book. It is hidden inside the first 3 hours of the morning. These few hours determine whether your day will be productive or lost in procrastination. They decide whether you move toward your dreams or toward excuses. And that decision is created by one thing only: action. According to Hill, thoughts are energy. But until you put that energy into motion, it remains nothing more than dormant potential. Action is the magnet that pulls your thoughts toward reality. All the energy, focus, and passion within you need direction. And direction comes only when, every morning, you move forward even a little. Point 1. The 3-task rule: clarity over chaos. Every morning begins with many demands: emails, calls, meetings, responsibilities. Everything enters the mind at once. The mind starts thinking about 10 things together, and that is where productivity dies, because the mind wants clarity, not crowd. Napoleon Hill said no one can move forward without definiteness of purpose. He believed, without clear aim, no man can move forward. And this applies perfectly to a morning action plan as well. That is why one of Hill's golden habits was the 3-task rule. Every morning, open your notebook or journal and write down only the 3 most important tasks. Not 10, not 20, just 3. Because if you try to do everything, you will finish nothing well. But if you focus on just 3 things, you will have both purpose and progress. This simple habit moves you from chaos to control. When your mind knows, "This is my focus today," distractions begin to fade on their own. The mind stops running toward random things because it knows its mission is defined. Napoleon Hill said, "A person with a plan can defeat a person with power. Power without a plan has no direction. And when direction combines with discipline, it becomes a magnet that pulls everything toward itself." Think of it this way. Some of the world's most productive people structure their mornings around clear priorities. Benjamin Franklin used to ask himself every morning, "What good shall I do today? What must I avoid today? What is my priority?" He believed that if you begin the day with direction, then every action throughout the day becomes meaningful. Now imagine that every morning you write just 3 tasks, such as, "Today I will read for 30 minutes. I will finish the first draft of my project. I will work out for my health goal." Then your mind knows what success looks like today. After that, every small step and every decision begins moving in that same direction by itself. This is the power of the 3-task rule: discipline inside simplicity, and freedom inside discipline. Napoleon Hill said, "Discipline is not about restriction, it's about direction." When you give direction to your actions each morning, your energy no longer gets scattered, it becomes concentrated. And this centered energy creates momentum within you. Momentum means movement, the force that pulls you out of inertia. Because remember, it is hard to stop something that is already moving. But it is even harder to move something that is standing still. That is why Napoleon Hill always emphasized, just start moving. The rest will follow. Point 2. Gratitude and visualization. The engine of emotion. Napoleon Hill did not only talk about logic, he deeply understood emotion as well. He believed that every action begins with emotion. If your emotions are negative, your actions will be weak. But if your emotions are inspired, your actions become unstoppable. That is why Hill taught his students a very simple ritual: gratitude and visualization. He called it the mental rehearsal of success. After you have activated your mind and body in the morning, close your eyes for 5 minutes. Now imagine that your day is unfolding exactly the way you want. You are achieving your goals with ease. There is peace on your face, excitement in your heart, clarity in your mind, and energy in your body. The people around you are happy and supportive. Everything is moving in the right direction. This is not fantasy. This is mental rehearsal. Neuroscience says that during visualization, the same neurons fire in the brain that fire during actual performance. In other words, when you imagine success, your brain begins to accept that success as possible. It plants the seed of confidence inside you, and when you take action, that seed slowly begins to bloom. Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But in order to build that belief, visualization is essential. Visualization sends a signal to your subconscious mind that this is possible. And when the subconscious accepts something as possible, it begins pushing your every cell, every thought, and every habit in that direction. Now add gratitude to this. Hill believed gratitude is an emotional magnet. When you are thankful, you vibrate not on the frequency of scarcity, but on the frequency of abundance. Your subconscious sends a message to the universe. I already have much, and I am ready to receive more. This also has a direct biological effect. Gratitude practice releases dopamine and serotonin in the brain. These chemicals increase emotional stability, happiness, and confidence. Research suggests that people who practice gratitude daily often experience significantly lower stress and better decision-making ability. So take 5 minutes in the morning and think of 3 things you are truly grateful for. It could be your family, your health, your friendships, or even a small achievement. Then imagine your day filled with peace and gratitude. This simple habit changes your energetic frequency. Now, when you act, you are no longer acting from fear or pressure. You are acting from joy and thankfulness. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever you think and feel with intensity, you magnetize. Your emotion is your true magnet. If you work from frustration, you attract that same energy. But if you work from gratitude, positivity and success begin to move toward you on their own." And this is the deepest secret of morning momentum. How your day goes is not decided only by your actions. It is decided by your intention and emotion. The vibration within you attracts the reality outside you. Now imagine what kind of power is created when these 3 things come together: purpose, energy, and emotion. Your mind stays focused. Napoleon Hill believed that every great person's morning contains 3 qualities: clarity of thought, energy of body, consistency of action. And when these 3 are synchronized, that person becomes unstoppable. Momentum does not arrive suddenly. It is the cumulative result of small daily actions. Every day you wake up and complete your top 3 tasks. Every day you visualize and practice gratitude. And by doing this, you create an invisible force that slowly pulls you toward your goals. Napoleon Hill wrote, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." This is the real essence of morning momentum. You do not have to begin with perfection. You only have to begin with a start. Take the first step, no matter how small it is, because inside that small step lives enough power to change the entire direction of your life. Conclusion: momentum is the miracle. Napoleon Hill's philosophy teaches us that every morning is a new opportunity, a fresh canvas on which you can write the story of your day. He said, "Success is nothing more than the accumulation of small efforts, repeated day in and day out." In other words, miracles do not happen in one day. They are hidden inside every morning, inside every small beginning. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, make action your morning mantra. Write down 3 goals in your notebook. Visualize for 5 minutes. Say thank you for 3 things. Do only this much, and you will see that your day begins to change. Because in the end, the one who wins is the one who puts his life into motion early in the morning. The one who says, "I will not wait for motivation to come. I will become the motivation myself." Napoleon Hill said, "Do it now." These 3 words can turn you from someone who dreams into someone who lives the dream. So when the sun rises tomorrow morning, do not just watch its light. Become action like that light yourself. When Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, he was not only talking about money or success. He was talking about a mindset that gives birth to itself anew every morning. He said, "Your only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind, and every morning gives you a chance to break that limitation." So the next time the sun rises, do not see it as an alarm. See it as an invitation. An invitation to awaken the best version of yourself. Do not let your morning become mechanical. Make it meaningful. Rise with purpose. Move with energy. Sign your day with action. Because how you start your day decides where life will take you. Now it is your turn. If these words touched your heart, share them with your friends so they too can turn their mornings into magic. Write in the comments what your next morning will look like. What new ritual are you about to begin? And if you want more deep motivational documentaries like this, subscribe to Radiant Update. Press the bell icon so that the next time inspiration arrives, it reaches you first. Remember, the world belongs to those who wake up with purpose.